As you saw in the title of this video, I have been learning Spanish for 11 years. Yeah, 11. So in this video, we're going to talk about the things that I wish I knew and what I have learned in this journey of over a decade of learning Spanish. Let's get into it. First thing, consistency beats everything. It was not the long study sessions that helped me. It was not the, okay, I'm practicing for a month and then I'm not practicing for a month. It was the tiny little increments, 10 to 15 minutes a day that I felt were feasible, but doing them every single day. Yes, I have said that I have studied Spanish for 11 years, but do you think it was 11 years straight of studying Spanish every day? No, because if it was, I would be in a very different place in my Spanish journey than I am now. And that is due to being inconsistent. If there is one thing that you take away from this video, be consistent in your Spanish learning journey. Learn in little bits every single day. This is going to be a bit controversial, but I honestly believe that speaking early is the cheat code. I waited years before I started to speak to natives confidently and still am not very confident in it. You know why? Because I waited until I felt like I was going to be perfect, until I felt like I wasn't going to make a mistake. You have to do it scared. You have to do it embarrassed. You have to make those mistakes in order to learn. And I was even embarrassed to talk to my fiance in Spanish, who's from Spain, who I spend every day with. I know, not speaking and waiting years to speak slowed me down more than anything. And let me tell you something else. I'm now learning Japanese and I know how to say my name, my age, and that I can speak English and Spanish. And that is pretty much it. And today I have in like 25 minutes my very first online tutor session in Japanese where I'm going to have to speak Japanese to someone that I don't know. And I am sweating. I'm terrified. I'm in a cold sweat, but I'm doing it because I'm going to learn this language differently than I learned Spanish. Once I started speaking Spanish consistently out loud, that's when I noticed how to say things like, okay, simple phrases that I use every single day. And I didn't even know that I didn't know how to say them because I had never spoken before. Immersion actually works. And I don't mean, okay, pick your stuff up, pack your bags, move to another country. I mean, make your own Spanish world here. I've talked about this so many times. Listen to podcasts, movies, TV shows, music, Spanish vlogs. Find something that interests you. Find a very hot man or woman and watch how they speak. Just watch them all day. I promise you, you're going to learn faster. I always say this, but it works because your brain subconsciously connects things without you even realizing it. You could feel like you're completely drowning and your brain is sorting through the mess. The best thing is to find things that are 80, 90, 95% comprehensible where you can understand most of the things. So your brain feels like it's winning and it's going to fill in the blanks. For years in my Spanish learning journey, I would be listening to conversations and I would pick up a word here and there and I would be able to figure out what they were saying even just by knowing some words and missing 30%, 40%, sometimes 50% of the words. I would still be able to get an idea of what was happening. Perfection is your enemy. Do it embarrassed. Do it unsure. Make mistakes. That's where you're going to learn. You're never going to learn unless you make mistakes. When you were a baby, you were like, cup, eat, hunger. You don't say that anymore. You know why? Because you were corrected. The moment you stop feeling like you're studying Spanish and you actually start to enjoy it and make it a part of your life, that's when the real progress happens. Make Spanish a part of your daily life. Radio in the morning, podcasts, music, movies. Just make it a part of your life so it's not like studying. Because the second you feel like studying, your brain is like, ew, and it's not going to be motivated to study. But if it's a part of your routine already, trick your brain. So here's what I would do differently if I knew zero Spanish and had to start over right now. I would focus on the top 300 words before anything else. Vocabulary is what's going to make you feel like you understand the language, because when you can pick up a word here and a word there, your brain again will piece it together. And you don't need to know every single word to be able to follow what's going on in a conversation. Learn the most used words first, and that will push you farther and keep your brain wanting more, because if it hears a sentence and it understood 2 words from it, even one, it's going to be like, oh my gosh, I know what's going on. And that's that instant gratification that your brain craves when learning language. Then I would take the vocab that I've learned and learn it in sentences. So if I learned caminar, how do I use it in a sentence? Because your brain If you have a hard time learning vocabulary in isolation, even though that is something that will get you super far, learning that vocab in use in sentences will get you even farther. So if you're learning the word caminar, put right below in the flashcards, voy a caminar. I'm gonna walk. Take those 300 words and turn them into sentences. Next, I would practice out loud from day one, even if I sounded absolutely terrible, which you will, it's okay. I would stop relying on motivation and build a system, because that is the reason I was so inconsistent. I felt overwhelmed, unmotivated. I felt like I wasn't progressing at all. So create tiny little increments. 10 minutes of learning vocab and phrases, 10 minutes of listening, 10 minutes of reading. And then maybe watch a YouTube vlog. Just create yourself a schedule. It doesn't have to be 2 hours a day. 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you have, and make it a habit. Build a system. So yeah, after 11 years, I have been learning Spanish for pretty much half my life. And there are so many things that I did wrong, and I want to help you do it a different way. I gotta go because my tutoring session in Japanese starts in about 10 minutes. So like I said, we're gonna go about this language differently. I hope this video is gonna help you avoid some of the mistakes that I've made along this long journey of learning Spanish, and let me know something that you're doing right now to learn Spanish. Thanks for watching. Nos vemos. Adios.